Story number 3, DC Attorney General sues over Trump's policy takeover, says the administration is abusing power. So on our ground news aggregator, we have a left-leaning blind spot here, I would say. We've got 36% coming from the left. So it's a blind spot for the right. It's being more reported on by the left. You can see that the right reporting is only 7%, with 56% coming from the center. So we get down and we sort our stories by factuality, like always. That's by location, but that's not what I want. And I have a story pulled up from Politico, which is the third one down. It says it leans left with a very high factuality. So let's go ahead and read this article from Politico. Washington officials are suing the Trump administration over what they call a baseless power grab after the Department of Justice ordered new emergency head of district police. By illegally declaring a takeover of the Metropolitan Police Department, the administration is abusing its temporarily limited authority under the law. Is it temporary, though, or is it written into the Constitution? Schwab wrote in an X post on Friday, "This is the gravest threat to home rule DC has ever faced, and we are fighting to stop it. The lawsuit filed in federal court warns that the attempted takeover could wreak operational havoc on the Metropolitan Police Department because of the confusion about who has operational control. The city's lawyers say the push by President Donald Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi violates the law in multiple ways, exceeding the president's legal power to intervene in city affairs and rescinding policies adopted by local government. They're asking a federal judge to immediately rescind Bondi's attempted takeover and effort to rewrite Washington police policies, declaring them to be unlawful. It's unclear how quickly a judge will act, but the emergency nature of the filing could lead to the proceedings as soon as Friday, which is today. So listen for the news, see what happens. The suit is the biggest pushback from the city's officials since Trump invoked a provision of the Home Rule Act, the 1970s law that allows for limited self-governance by Washington's government, that allows the president to direct the Metropolitan Police Department services to address special conditions of an emergency nature. In the declaration accompanying the city's bid for an immediate restraining order, DC Police Chief Pamela Smith said the administration's gambit is endangering the safety of the public and law enforcement officers. In my nearly 3 decades in law enforcement, I've never seen a single government action that would cause greater threat to law and order than this dangerous directive. I got to push back against that a little bit. I don't think that that's the case, but this has become just... The suit underscores that no president in history has invoked the authority to manage the city's police department, and the city's lawyers say the president's power to do so requires coordination between city officials and the federal government, not a hostile takeover. Bondi on Thursday issued an order that directed Drug Enforcement Agency head Terry Cole to assume all powers and duties of the city's police chief as the new emergency police commissioner effective immediately. Bondi's order also purported to rescind or suspend several Washington police orders, including one issued by Smith earlier on Thursday that allowed for limited cooperation with federal immigration authorities. Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser and Schwab, both Democrats elected by Washington residents, insisted late Thursday that Bondi could not legally disrupt the typical chain of command for MPD officers by requiring them to report to Cole. Therefore, members of MPD must continue to follow your orders and not the orders of any official not appointed by the mayor, Schwab wrote in a letter on Thursday to Smith that was circulated by Bowser. Regardless of the Bondi order, no official other than you may exercise all the powers and duties of the chief of police. Man, we're just asking for a confrontation between the city of DC and the federal government, aren't we? The Department of Justice spokesperson declined to comment, and the White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Trump on Monday issued an executive order invoking the Home Rule Act, insisting that the district was overrun by violence. He also deployed the National Guard to the city. But before Bondi's order Thursday, looking to replace the MPD chief, city officials have largely limited their criticism of the Trump administration, noting that Washington was in a fairly unique situation that gave the federal government broad powers and authorities. The feds have an oversized role in D.C. We all know that, Bowser told Political Wednesday morning. Right now, having a surge of officers enhances our MPD forces on a temporary basis. We're going to stay focused on hiring more MPD, or when this temporary surge is over, figuring out more permanent partnerships to tap into when we need the surge of officers. But Trump's Monday press conference went far beyond what his executive order said, with the president saying his administration would take our capital back. Giving us additional resources is a good thing, but that's also quite different than federalizing our police force, D.C. Council Chair Phil Mendelssohn said Wednesday in an interview. Donald Trump is not going to tell our police how to police. Okay. Hey, thanks for checking out this video from Nightly News this morning. If you wouldn't mind, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video or when we go live on Tuesdays and Fridays.